So tell me a little bit about kind of what you remember of Dad growing up and you know, the entrepreneur in him that obviously inspired the entrepreneur in you, and then, you know, just going on and how that's progressed.
Yeah. So even with that, my mom was a realtor and very, very good at that. And so I watched how she took care of people. Like she'd bend over backwards, almost to a fault, taking care of people. Now with my dad, he woke up every day and he loved what he did. And so my mom would say, like, you and your dad are alike, where you have chosen a path where it's something that I don't look at, like coming in to the Vitality Mill and getting on a coaching call with my clients. I don't look at that like work at all. Now there's stresses as far as like looking at the bank accounts and trying to do all that, and with your sister-in-law and my staff, and making sure that I can provide so they can live the life that they love. And so with my dad, it was like, I looked at the things that he did, they did really, really well. And just like with coaching, it's like I looked at things he did really, really well, but I'd also looked at things he didn't do very well. And the things he didn't do very well was like, I had baseball, basketball, football games. He had sales. He's a cattle rancher and bought and sold cows. So he was the best at what he did. But I would watch him, and he would have, it was all business. Didn't go on vacations. Didn't go to my games and things like that. Great dad. He was doing the best that he could. He learned how he learned from his dad. And so it's one of those things where my son plays college football, and like this last year, we went to every game. Like we did 6 to 7 hour drives. We went to every game. It's like, I'm not going to miss that stuff. So for me, it was like watching what he did, and having that for him, having his purpose and his mission to help. For me, it was like, okay, now I see what you did there, and I like that. But if we don't give that same love and appreciation to all the other areas, then what are we actually doing? And so that's why with that relationship, we're having to look at him. It was like one of those things where like, I'm not going to make that same mistake. And if I can use my father's name now and have that as a story to be able to help other men to look at and realize that like this life is ticking and it's going to be over, and you're going to look at it and you're going to think that you're really successful now. But I've seen a lot of individuals that make a lot of money that are poor in a lot of other areas. And for me, it's like, I want to be that most elite version. I want to walk into the room and people look at me and go like, that dude's different. If you don't have that investment in those other areas and really trying to look at, just like in business, of here I am and this is where I'm at now. Well, this is what I don't like. I need to get better at. Okay, now what do I need to change to start improve? And just chipping away at it like that. So I just took my father's mistakes, but I also just learned from like what he did and the life that he lived, that he loved what he did, you know?